I'm waiting. Here she comes. Oh
Hi.
my goodness. Hi.
Hi. Happy New Year. It is so good to see you.
Oh my goodness. Same
How have
here.
you
Happy New
been?
Year.
You been good?
I I've been well. I brought the new year in no phone, no devices, and I've just been staying so present, and I will tell you that it has worked wonders for
Yeah.
me just being present. How about yourself?
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Right now I'm actually in Savannah, Georgia, to urge everyone to vote and,
Yes.
and to vote for Reverend Warnock, Raphael Warnock, who is a son of Savannah and John Ossoff. So I just
Yes.
got here today to remind folks that their voices matter.
Yes. Listen, this is a historic moment. I am talking to the Vice President elect, Kamala Harris. You have been a senator for a very long time as well. So the fact that you're endorsing, Reverend Warnock and Ossoff says a lot about you. Let's get into what we both care so much about, which is this January 5th Senate runoff election in Georgia.
Yes.
Um, is that a train behind you? I love it.
There is a train and it's
Listen,
roaring.
listen, you are a hardworking woman. And so I just want to get right into my first question for you. Um, let's set the scene. What is the makeup of the Senate? What is the importance of having a Senate?
Yeah, so I mean, here's the thing. It is so there are 100 members of the United States Senate. And right now, the Republicans have the majority. And so that means that whoever's in the majority gets to basically make the rules
Right.
around what we're going to vote on versus what we're not going to vote on, right? So it has everything to do with what legislation will get passed and and whose voices will be heard. I am only Janelle. I am only the second Black woman in the history of the United States Senate to be elected.
Mm.
And right now, and when I am sworn in on January 20th, which I will be, whether Donald Trump likes that or not, um, I will be.
Yes.
But there will the bitter sweet moment about that is that there will be no more Black women in the United States Senate,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to joke with Cory Booker, who's the senator from New Jersey, that when I got there, we had a Black Senate um, caucus because there were two of us,
Mm.
right,
Yeah.
of 100. So there's that piece of it. There's a piece of it about Democrats versus Republicans in the majority, but there is this other piece of it as it relates to the Georgia races, which is United States senators have so much power
Mm.
to determine how our country will move forward or not. And I'll remind folks of an example that I think is such a great example, which is I was on the Senate floor at about 2 o'clock in the morning a couple of years ago when we were debating the future of the Affordable Care Act known as
Mm.
Obamacare.
Mm.
Now, President Obama, together with Vice President Biden at the time, passed legislation and were leaders to say access to health care should be a right and not a privilege of just those who can afford it.
Yeah.
But because Barack Obama, it was his signature piece of legislation, the Republicans were trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that one particular early morning, one United States senator walked on the Senate floor and determined the future of health care.
Mm.
And that was the late, great John McCain, who, with a thumbs down, said, "No, you don't play politics with people's health care." The
That's right.
power of one senator. Georgia has the power to elect two
Yeah.
who can go there and say that let's have the majority. Let's put on the floor things like the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which I was an author of together with Cory Booker and the Congressional Black Caucus. We have the power to say, let's put on the floor legislation that's about addressing climate change and taking it seriously, including climate injustice and
Yeah.
racial injustice as it relates to that issue. We'll have the power to say, let's have a federal minimum wage that is at least $15 an hour instead of $7.25 an hour.
That's
The
right.
power to say, Let's deal with the inequities in our education system, in our healthcare system, in our economy. All of this is at stake.
Yeah.
Not to mention that Georgia has such a long history of trying to take away and deny people the right to vote. Let's not forget one of the great heroes who is now a great ancestor, John Lewis, a son of Georgia,
Yeah.
who shed his blood on the Edmund Pettus Bridge for our right to vote. And we now have an opportunity in his home state to elect John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock in his memory, dedicated to what he wanted us to do, which is to vote.
Yeah. Yes. That is so well said. I think if you are in Georgia right now, please figure out where you are and where you can vote. Uh, January 5th, this Tuesday, this is the Senate runoff election. We need the Biden Harris administration agenda to be supported by Democrats. We know that if Mitch McConnell and the Republicans run the Senate, they will put us in gridlock and they will put us in paralysis and block everything that the Biden Harris administration is trying to do. We cannot allow that. So we have to elect Asa and Warnock. January 5th. I'm with you, Kamala. I don't know what our time. I don't know what our time is like, but I had like maybe another question for you. You
Good, and
tell
then I
me.
have one for you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Uh, I would say, can you talk to us? Talk to us. Remind us about what you and Joe Biden, what you guys are passionate about, what you're going to be hitting the ground running, doing this as soon as you get into office. Talk
Yeah.
about your agenda.
Well, it's about dealing with the four crises that have converged on us. And so first and foremost, it's COVID. And, we're now looking at over 350,000 Americans that have died from it, right? And the tens of millions of people who've contracted it. So we need to deal with that. And it's about a plan for a distribution of the vaccines, which really this current administration has not had, taking into account racial disparities and racial equity in the way that we distribute the vaccine. I got the
Yeah.
vaccine. I encourage everybody to take it,
Yes,
get it,
I
and
will be
take
taking it
life,
too.
right? There
My
you go.
friend's father worked on the Moderna vaccine, so I've
That's what
had an
I got.
opportunity, and she has it as well. She has the vaccine. I trust scientists. I
That's
believe in science. Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah,
right. So we want to encourage everyone when it's their time to get vaccinated. We need to deal with the other crisis, which is, of course, the economic crisis that has resulted from that. Here in Georgia, 1 in 7 families is describing their family has been hungry.
yeah,
1 in 6 are describing their inability to pay rent. 1 in 4 small businesses are looking at going out of business, and this is reflective of the national statistics. So the other priority is to get folks back up and running around small businesses, around jobs, to get kids back in school. We have a commitment. If hopefully we have a Congress that will work with us to
yeah,
take 100 days to figure out how to safely reopen schools so our babies, all of our children, can get back in school and
yes,
maximize their God-given talent. So there's that. There's the long overdue reckoning on racial injustice in America and
yeah,
taking that on and dealing with it head on. And then, of
yeah,
course, the climate crisis, and which is, pounding at our door in every way.
yeah.
So those are the four main areas of focus. Um, Tell me what you are so brilliant and creative, and you always give of yourself. You and I run into each other where you are
Yeah.
always doing social justice work. You are always speaking truths about race and about gender and about equality and equity. So tell me, we're still in the new year, in the earliest days of the new year. What motivates you and what gives you a sense of hope and optimism about
Mhm.
2021?
Well, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen what happens when communities come together. And coming from a large community, I tell the story all the time. My grandmother was a sharecropper
Mhm.
in Aberdeen, Mississippi. So I come from a hard working class family where everybody had to pull together. People were washing dishes, you washing clothes, you're taking care of each other. And so community has been at the center. It's not something that everybody is going to have the stomach for or the patience for.
Right.
But there are sacrifices at an early age that I've had to make for my community to help better my community, to want to make my community proud. And so I think as music has, given me more notoriety and I've traveled around the world, I have a unique ability to bring people together. I have a unique ability to speak for the voices who are pushed to the margins of society. I might not always do it right. I might not always want to do it, but it's something that my grandmother instilled in us that it baffles me today that I can't let go. I cannot push aside the rights of marginalized communities. Being queer, being black, growing up with a mom who was a janitor, and my father was a trash man. My stepdad, still works at the post office. He does not want to quit.
Right.
So I have I have access to certain things, and I also have my ears to the streets and to the ground of what real people are dealing with. And so yeah, I think I just try to use music and art to continue to tell that story and to bridge those gaps. Because when you're at a concert, it don't matter what God you serve, what party you're a part of. You're all uniting around something.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. You inspire so many people, and the beauty of your gift is that you do have a very special way of bringing people in a welcoming way, in a way that is about sharing the dignity that we should share with each other, but doing it always with a force that is about truth telling. And I do believe when I look at leaders like you, I know that our future is bright, and it's just about everybody, like you said, working at
Yeah.
it, and it's not easy. There are other things you can
Yeah.
be doing with your time, and I want to thank you for always stepping up to give of yourself. It means
Well,
so much.
listen. I'm just a mirror reflecting back your hard work. It's not easy working. I'm sure going into this 2021. Excuse me, we're out
Yeah.
of 20, but going into 2021, 2022, 23, 24, fighting for the things you believe in. And I just want to tell you that I'm personally thankful. I am so thankful to have you in office.
Thank you,
I
John.
feel like I feel like um, you know, it's not that I look at you or people should look at elected officials as saints or like they're going to get everything perfect, but to know that you are in office reflecting people like me, like my grandmother, hardworking class folks. You're fighting to get this virus under control. You represent real leadership, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that you are because you don't have to. You don't have to. You didn't have to accept Joe Biden's invitation. You didn't have to say yes, but you did. And I know that you're going to do that with integrity. I know that you're going to fight for marginalized voices. I know that when I see you, you are going to be thinking about this country, that you're going to have things on your mind because you do care. And from seeing you prior to you being, the next vice president elect, that was always in you. That doesn't have to be taught. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you for representing those of us who just have felt like there's no way forward. Like what is our future going to look like? And you're actually planning to figure that out and make that better for us.
We are all in this
Yeah,
together. We are
we
all in
are.
this together, and they're all looking at me because I'm supposed to go on stage right now.
Okay. All
Raphael
right.
and John,
Yes. Send them
Happy
my
New
love.
Year. Happy
Let's
New
vote.
Year. Until next time, stay well,
Until next
stay
time.
healthy.
I'll see you. I love you. I'll be
I
praying for
love
you
you.
and
I
call me
love you.
whenever you need me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
God
All right.
bless.
God bless.